Hi everyone, thank you for joining OACAC and StriveScan for the virtual college exploration. Before we get started with the presentation, I do have a few housekeeping items that I would like to run through. You can sign up for other sessions and view all of the active sessions available through the website at oacac.org. A recording of this session and other sessions are also available on the website. You are able to ask questions throughout this session using the Q&A button at any point, and your camera and microphone will be off during the presentation. You are muted and your video is off so the panelists can't see or hear you, but you have full access to see and hear them throughout the presentation. Without further ado, I will turn it over to Northern Kentucky University.
All right, hello everyone. Thank you for joining our session today. So my name is Jamie Smitty. I am the coordinator of customer service and events at Northern Kentucky University. So I plan all of our large on-campus recruitment events. I also do some recruitment out in the Dayton, Ohio area and Butler and Warren County, Ohio. So if any of y'all are from that area, I might be seeing you at high school visits later this fall. But I've just been at NKU for about 3 years now. So throughout the course of this presentation, I'll be giving you a lot of good info about everything I've learned about our university, some of my favorite things that we have to offer students, and hopefully we get all your questions answered. But like it was mentioned, we do have our Q&A function enabled. So if you would like to answer questions through there or ask questions through there, please feel free to do so throughout the course of this presentation, and I will get right to that. So we are going to go ahead and get started with NKU at a glance. So this is just some quick facts about the university, just kind of get us going into the presentation, especially if you aren't super familiar with our university and what we have to offer students. So one of the things that we are super proud about is that for the past 10 plus years, we have been named one of America's best colleges by Forbes magazine. And so that's super impressive in and of itself because there are a lot of colleges and universities across the United States, but it's made even more impressive by the fact that we're just a little over 50 years old. So we were founded in 1968. That actually makes us the youngest school in the state of Kentucky. And so that gives our students an advantage because they are able to come in and really help shape the future of our institution. So if there is some new tradition that you would like to see set in place, if there is some change that you want to see happen on campus, because we are so young and have room to improve and are constantly looking to grow, we do give our students the ability to make that happen. So I'll give you an example of that, and we'll touch on this building a little bit later in the presentation, but our campus recreation that is now on campus was an entirely student-led initiative. So a couple of years ago, our students decided that our old rec center was dark, it was dingy, it did not motivate them to work out, and so they actually went to our Student Government Association, which serves as the voice for the NKU student body, and they petitioned to have a new campus recreation center built on campus. And in 2015, we did open up that new campus recreation center for our students to utilize. So that's just what I mean, that if there's something you want to see changed or something that you want to see put in place on campus, our students really do have the voice and the ability to make that happen. In terms of size, we do have about 14,500 students on campus. So when you're looking at all the universities throughout the course of, these great virtual presentations, we're kind of right in the middle size-wise. We're small enough to where you're going to see familiar faces across campus, but we're also big enough to be able to give our students lots of opportunities and make sure that you have plenty of chances to meet new people and form new friendships and connections throughout your time in college. All right, moving right along. So some other quick facts here. Even though we do have just about 14,500 students on campus, our average class size is still only 24 students. So it's going to be probably somewhat similar to what you have size-wise in high school right now. It's going to be small enough to where your professors will take the time to get to know your name. They'll come to know what you need to be successful both inside and outside of the classroom. So it's a really great opportunity through those small classes to make those connections with your professors and faculty members. Just like right now in high school, your professors and faculty members are going to be your best advocates and your best connections on a college campus, whether it be for extra help academically in their classes, but also for those connections to out-of-class opportunities. All of our professors have years of experience in their fields that they're teaching. So they didn't just go to school, decide, hey, I want to teach accounting in college and go on and do that. They actually have years and years of experience in accounting industries and in accounting firms. So they can draw on those connections that they have to help connect you to professional development, things like internships and research opportunities. So no matter where you all end up for college, I hope it's NKU, but if you do decide to go elsewhere, definitely take the time to get to know your faculty members. They're going to be your best resources on your college campus, and they truly do have your best interests at heart. They want to see you succeed and meet your definition of success during your time on their campus. And then lastly, turning to academics, we do have over 80 different majors available to our students. We'll touch on those a little bit later in this presentation, but know that whatever you're looking to study, we're going to have it in some major or minor combination. And then lastly, just a little bit about our location. So for those of you that aren't super familiar with NKU, we kind of have the Goldilocks syndrome, I like to call it, in terms of our location. So you can see in this picture that we are more suburban setting. So our campus is kind of back in a suburb area. There's not like major roads running through it where you're going to be dodging cars on your way to class in the morning. So it's a nice contained walkable space where you can focus on having that traditional college experience. But as you can see in that top hand picture, you can actually see the Cincinnati skyline from our campus. So while we do have a suburban college campus feel, we're just 10 minutes away from downtown Cincinnati and all those opportunities that Cincinnati has to offer you, both professionally and socially as a college student. And we'll get into those a little bit later as well. All right, so moving right on into academics. Like I said, we do have 80 different majors that are available to our undergraduate students. Those are spread across 6 different undergraduate colleges. And the way you can kind of conceptualize this, my coworker did a really great analogy the other day, is to think about NKU as Hogwarts from Harry Potter, where all these different colleges are kind of like the different houses in Hogwarts. So all these colleges make up NKU as a university. And we'll touch on each of these and some of the majors as well as out-of-class opportunities that you can take advantage of as a student within one of these colleges on our campus. So the first college that we have is our College of Arts and Sciences. This is probably our largest college that we have on NKU's campus. It houses over 100 different academic programs. So those can include majors, minors, certificates, even things like pre-professional programs if you're interested in going on to medical school or dental school. So it definitely has a lot to offer students academically, and chances are you're going to have at least one class that's located within this college. This college also is home to our School of the Arts. So that is the largest School of the Arts program in the state of Kentucky. We put on over 120 different performances every year, and those range from full main stage theater and orchestra productions down to just like art gallery openings or comedy stand-up shows. So if you're interested in the arts, NKU is a really great place to be. And what's nice too about our School of the Arts is that all those different performances are open to students from any major. So while, you know, we do have theater majors and dance majors and music majors that are participating in those performances, auditions are open to anyone. So if you are involved in the arts as a high school student right now and you want to continue that passion but not necessarily major in it, know that you can still stay involved in those on NKU's campus. And then I mentioned that we do have pre-professional programs such as pre-medicine, pre-dental, pre-physical therapy. A nice thing to note about that is that if you are interested in pre-med, we are home to a branch of the University of Kentucky College of Medicine. So we have the University of Kentucky, Northern Kentucky Medical Campus on NKU's campus. It's a little bit of a tongue twister there, but they have an early assurance program for students where they hold a certain amount of spots every year for NKU graduates in that first year medical class. And so that kind of is a nice little extra protection that you have in the med school application process. It's not a guaranteed acceptance thing. You do have to apply to the early assurance program and still apply to UK's College of Medicine, but you know that you have a little bit of competitive advantage in that they're saving some seats specifically for NKU grads. All right, moving right on to our Hale US Bank College of Business. So this college is home to your traditional business majors such as accounting, entrepreneurship, marketing. We have some unique ones too, like sports business as well as international business. Sports business is a really cool program given our location next to Cincinnati because we have students that have done multiple internships with the Cincinnati Reds, Cincinnati Bengals, FC Cincinnati. So our physical location provides some really great professional opportunities for those sports business students. But pretty much any major within the College of Business, you're going to be getting out there doing internships, co-op experiences. They even do something called Business Week where you aren't in your classes for that week, but they bring in representatives from different businesses and firms throughout the Cincinnati area. And they basically teach you how to enter the market, how to market yourself in the job search. They teach you more about different opportunities through those Business Week programming. So our College of Business does a lot to get students real hands-on professional experience. Another program that I like to talk about within the College of Business is our incubator program. So if any of you have seen the show or are familiar with the structure of the TV show Shark Tank, incubator is pretty much our version of Shark Tank, except for you're not on live TV, which would be a relief for me, and you don't actually have to have a product or business already built. You just have to have an idea for one. So how it works is that you pitch your idea to the board of the incubator program. If they like it, they accept you into a summer-long institute where they teach you how to create that product, market it, find funding for it. So our students that go through the incubator program are able to come out before they even graduate from NKU as owners of their own business or as someone that's able to have this fully sellable product that they can promote. And we've had some pretty cool projects come out of it. So the picture on here is of Isaiah Kelly. He is a recent NKU grad, but during his time at NKU, he went through the incubator program and created Smooth Creations. And so that is a custom sneaker design company, and he's had a lot of success with it. He actually was just named one of the best startups in the Cincinnati area, and he got all that started and got all that going through our NKU incubator program. So we're a really great location for entrepreneurship students, or if you're interested in owning your own business as well. The next college that we have is our College of Informatics. So when I first came to NKU, I had no idea what informatics meant. I had to look it up. So I'll save y'all the data or the Wi-Fi. And it's all about how you collect, analyze, and share information with the world. So naturally, majors within this college are going to be things like communication studies, journalism, electronic media and broadcasting, as well as the computer tech side as well, like computer science and computer information technology. We also have a really great computer science program that focuses a lot on women in STEM and women in computer science. We graduate the #1 amount of degrees in Kentucky with computer science to women. So it's a great spot for students that are looking to break into that field. We also have some out-of-class opportunities here as well. So we do have the Northerner, that is our student-run newspaper. So if you are currently in a journalism class or working on a student newspaper, you can definitely continue that here at NKU. We like to point out that it is entirely student-run, which means that they get to maintain their journalistic integrity. They're not funded by the university or anything like that. So they're a really great source for NKU current students, faculty, and staff. But one of the tips that I always give to students going through their college search process as well is, if you can, check out the student newspaper on the campus of the colleges that you're interested in, because they do a lot to highlight what's going on campus, the campus climate, what students are saying about their experiences. So if you want to check out the Northerner, they do have their own website. They're also really prominent on social media, so feel free to look them up. And then data science is also another big program on NKU's campus as well. All right, so next up we have our College of Education. So our College of Education is home to both graduate and undergraduate programs. Pretty much we can get you certified to teach any subject, any grade, any school that you want to as a future educator. So we have degrees all the way from early childhood education, if you're looking to work with really young kids, up to middle grades, secondary for high school students, as well as special education. And like I said, pretty much any subject that you're looking to teach, we can get you there. The nice thing about the College of Education at NKU is that we get you in the classroom your first year on campus. So your first year, you will shadow at least 3 different classroom settings. That way you can get a feel for what type of school that you want to work in, what grade level that you want to work with, what subject you want to work with, and you get to figure that out early on. That way, when you do go and do your student teacher rotation your senior year, you know that that's a good fit for you. It's the best place for you as a future educator. And in terms of our placements, we have students all over the tri-state area. So Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana. A lot of our students do choose to remain in one of those 3 states when they graduate, but we've also had students go to Oregon, Florida, New York. So our College of Education advisors are really versed in helping you get certified to teach in whatever state that you want to teach in across the US. And the next college we have is our College of Health and Human Services. So this college is home to what I like to call the helping professions degrees. So it's home to 4 different schools. It's home to our School of Nursing, which houses all of our nursing programs, including our 4-year bachelor's in nursing. We also have the School of Allied Health, which is home to radiologic science, respiratory care, and radiation therapy. We have social work and kinesiology. So if you're interested in being a social worker, kinesiology is also really good for students that are interested in going on to physical therapy graduate programs or occupational therapy graduate programs. And then we also have our School of Counseling and Rehabilitative Sciences as well. One of the really cool features of our College of Health and Human Services is the Health Innovation Center. So that's actually our newest building on campus. It opened at the beginning of 2018. And the Health Innovation Center is a state-of-the-art facility for all of our healthcare students. So it houses 7 simulation rooms, and those simulation rooms are basically simulations of a healthcare environment. So we have a virtual ER, we have operating rooms, we have a apartment where students that are interested in social work or occupational therapy can work with patients in that home setting and helping them get acclimated to home care. But these simulation rooms are really cool. They're a great learning tool for our students. They house robots that actually mimic symptoms, everything from the common cold up to heart disease, broken bones. They give full-term birth to tiny little robots, which I think is super creepy, but the nursing students love it. So those simulation rooms and those robotic mannequins that we have are really great learning tools for our students, which they can then take to their clinical experiences. So we have students doing clinicals in pretty much all areas of nursing and radiologic science and all those other healthcare programs and all across the Cincinnati area. If you know anything about the healthcare industry in Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky, we are home to some of the nation's leading hospitals like Cincinnati Children's, St. Elizabeth, Christ Hospital for cardiac care. So once our students move out into the field in those clinical rotations, they have some great professional experiences that really boost their resume and help them land those jobs once they graduate. All right, and we also do have our Chase College of Law. So the Chase College of Law primarily serves graduate students that are looking to get their law degree and practice law and be a lawyer. But we also have a couple programs available for undergraduate students too. So we do have a bachelor's degree in law. We are one of 2 schools in the country to have that. The other is the University of Arizona, and it is an entirely online program. Our program is in person in normal semesters, and our Chase College of Law faculty actually help to co-teach some of those classes. So as an undergraduate student, you're getting to make connections and having exposure to those Chase College of Law faculty members, which can help you in your law school process. And then we also have a 3+3 program. So with this, students earn both their bachelor's degree and their law degree in 6 years versus the traditional 7 years. So it's a way for you to get out in the field more quickly, save some money. And our Chase College of Law has the highest first-time bar passage test rate of any school in the state of Kentucky. So our Chase College of Law graduates are really well prepared to pass the bar the first time, go out and practice law in whatever field of law they would like to practice. And then lastly, the other honors college that I'm talking about, the honors college is open to students from any major on campus. And so the honors college, what it does is it serves as an enhancement to your academic experience on NKU's campus. So whether you are a biology major, an accounting major, a nursing student, all of you all are able to be a part of the honors college. And they do have honors specific courses that you need to take. And they also have additional opportunities to build your professional and social experiences as well. So for instance, the Honors College has extra experiences for studying abroad, for research, for like lunch and learns where they bring in different speakers from the community to give you some interesting facts and speeches about their chosen career field or their nonprofit. So the Honors College is a really great addition to any major that we have on campus. They're also home to The Flame, which is a student-run magazine. So they have a lot of opportunities for you to explore different things throughout the university. The Honors College does require a separate application, but it does not really focus on your ACT or GPA. So they're looking at you from a holistic standpoint. They're wanting to really bring in students that are going to get a lot out of the Honors College experience and bring that forward into their graduate studies or into their careers once they graduate from NKU. So if anything that I said about the Honors College interests you, just go ahead and submit the application for the Honors College. There's no additional fee. You just have to answer a couple of essay questions about what you hope to get out of it and how you'll use that in the future. And that's really how they're pulling students into the Honors College. So we really encourage any student to apply and become a part of the Honors College to take advantage of the opportunities they offer. So while your academic experience is going to make up a lot of your time on NKU's campus, we also know that it's super important to get involved outside the classroom as well. So when thinking about campus life, the first thing I always like to talk about is residential living. So we do have 6 different residence halls on NKU's campus, and we actually are in the process of building another one that should be open soon. But just to give you all an idea of living on campus, if you live within a 50-mile radius of NKU's campus, you can choose whether or not you want to live on campus or commute from home your first year. If you live further than 50 miles from campus, you are required to live on campus in a residence hall your freshman year, and then you can choose to move off campus or remain on campus. We do have a lot of students that choose to live in the residence halls all 4 years. But in terms of our residence halls, on this slide, you can see some of what our floor plans look like. So of those 6 residence halls that we have, 2 of them are traditional style. And that's what you can see in the upper, my right-hand corner. So that's where there's 2 bedrooms to the room. There's community style bathrooms down the hall. The nice thing about that is that you don't have to clean those bathrooms. I lived in a suite my freshman year, and my roommates and I really struggled with that. So don't shy away from traditional style living. However, the rest of our residence halls are going to be apartment or suite style. And that's what those remaining 3 options, those 3 pictures show you. So we have a couple of different floor plans in our apartments and suites. We have options where there's 4 individual bedrooms, a couple of shared bathrooms, and a shared living space. We have options where there's 2 bedrooms, each with 2 people, a couple of shared bathrooms, a shared living space. And then we also do have options where it's just you. Those are called our efficiency rooms. And so we give you all a lot of choices when it comes to creating your living space and choosing your living space on campus. And the nice thing about living on campus at NKU is that even as a freshman or as a first-year student, you all can choose from any of our residence halls. So if you want traditional style, great, select that. If you want apartment or suites, you can do that too, even as a first-year student. So if you are looking at the apartment or suite style options, I do encourage you to apply as soon as the application opens. So it opens in January. It's usually like the first day that we get back after winter break. But a lot of those apartment and suite style options do go pretty quickly. So if you have a specific residence hall that you want to live in, make sure that you complete that housing application as close to the opening date as possible so that you can get what you want in terms of your living space. And the housing application kind of works how buying a movie ticket these days does. So you log in, you select the residence hall, you select the exact room inside the residence hall, and as long as it's available, that's your living space for the upcoming year. So you have a lot of agency and control over what your living space looks like at NKU. All right, and then turning a little bit to campus involvement. So I'm gonna give you all a piece of advice. It's the best advice I got when I went to school, and that's to get involved in at least one student organization your first semester on campus. So when I was in school, I was a campus tour guide. I joined a Greek life organization. I joined the rock climbing club my first semester. I have literally never rock climbed a day in my life. I do not have the arm strength for it, so I lasted like 2 weeks. But I got to meet some people that I would have never otherwise met, and I got to try something totally new. And I kind of learned that the best way to figure out what you do like is to first figure out what you don't like. And a great way to do that in like a low risk environment is through student involvement and through student organizations. So we do have over 250 student organizations available to our students. We have everything from Greek life organizations, honor societies, academic organizations. We have club and intramural sports, as well as just like your campus service, campus ministry organizations as well. We also have just like your fun organizations. So if any of you all like eating Chipotle, we have a Chipotle club on campus. They walk down the street to Chipotle. It's like 3 minutes off campus, get their burrito bowls, great resume builder. We have a napping club on campus. They tend to meet or nap in our student union. So there's a lot of fun ones out there. Also ones that are going to give you like some, transferable skills like leadership and communication and things like that. But if for some reason one of our 250 student organizations that we already have doesn't interest you, just know that you are able to start your own student organization. So no excuse not to get involved on campus. For those of you that are interested in athletics, we do have 17 NCAA Division I sports teams. So we compete in the Horizon League, which means that we play other teams from kind of like the local area in the Midwest, a lot of teams from Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Illinois. But we have pretty much every sport except for football. Sorry, you can watch the Bengals on Sundays. But we have men's and women's soccer, men's and women's basketball, softball, baseball. So all those traditional sports. And the nice thing about NKU's athletic programs is that tickets to all those events are free for NKU students. So if you do ever want to go to a soccer game or a basketball game, all you have to do is show up at the game, show them your NKU student ID, you automatically get a ticket and get into that event for free. So that's a really nice perk that we offer students. Sometimes student tickets can be super expensive, totally free at NKU's campus. So that's a really great perk and a great way to get out and show some school spirit too at those games. All right, so moving along, another thing that I like to point out is our Student Success Center. So at NKU, one of the things I really love is that we have a culture of care and support here where our students know that they are going to be having the resources and the people in their corner that they need to succeed both inside and outside the classroom as well. So a lot of those resources are located in our Student Success Center. And I'll just touch on a couple that I think have some cool things going on. The first of which is Education Abroad. That is our study abroad office. So the staff there help to connect students to all those cool study abroad opportunities. Every year we put on over 40 different programs, and those programs go all around the world. So whether you are looking to study abroad in Europe, in South America, in Australia, I just saw a video recap of a trip last year to Fiji. That looks super cool. So we have some really great programs already established, but you can also work with a study abroad advisor to create your own adventure if we don't have a program out there that fits your wants and needs. We have a lot of different time lengths available. So we do have your traditional semester abroad programs, year-long programs, but we also have shorter term programs as well. So 1 or 2 week programs over winter break or spring break or summer. And those can kind of be like a nice stepping stone for students if you want to work your way up to a longer study abroad program. Another office within our Student Success Center that I really appreciate is our Career Services Office. So they help to connect our students to professional development opportunities, both as a student at NKU, but also once you graduate. So every year they host large-scale career fairs on our campus where students can walk around and network with local businesses. They can pass out their resume, collect business cards, just see what's out there for them. They also do some cool services like resume review workshops. They'll do like virtual interviewing where you can get feedback on your interviewing techniques. So they do a lot to make sure that our students are connected professionally and getting those hands-on experiences. And then lastly, Learning Plus. Learning Plus is our free tutoring service for any NKU student. So if you ever find yourself struggling in a class, or maybe you just know that you're not that great at English or history, you can go ahead and schedule a tutor in any of your classes for free. So those are great resources outside of your professors if you do need a little bit of extra academic help. And then another way to get involved is through our Center for Student Inclusiveness. So on here you can see all the offices that make up the Center for Student Inclusiveness. They do some really great individual programming for students. A lot of them have like summer bridge programs where you can move on to campus early. You get paired with an upperclassman mentor who helps to make sure that your transition from high school to college is successful. But they also do large scale campus programming as well. So a lot of our students are involved in these offices through those large campus events, but also through those individual events and mentorship programs as well. All right, and then moving on to the Campus Rec Center. So I mentioned earlier that this was our entirely student-led initiative. So our students helped to make this possible and bring this to NKU's campus. But the Campus Rec Center is a state-of-the-art facility. It's the largest campus recreation center in the state of Kentucky. So we have lots of space for our students to stay active. We have 6 different basketball and volleyball courts if you are ever interested in playing a pickup game. We also have a lot of our intramural games that participate in the Campus Rec Center. And then the Campus Rec Center also has like an indoor suspended running track. It's gorgeous out today, but if it weren't, you could run inside on the running track. We also have pretty much every cardio and weight equipment that you could ever imagine. We have a really nice aquatic center. My personal favorite thing about the Campus Rec are our Norse fitness classes. So those are free fitness classes for NKU students, everything from cycling, yoga, kickboxing, just a fun way to stay active and kind of keep you accountable because it's like a set time every week. But definitely check out the Campus Rec Center. It's a really cool place for our students to unwind, burn off some energy. A lot of our students also study there. So if you're a person that likes a little bit of activity around you when you study, this Campus Rec is also a good space for that. There's a big space on the 2nd floor with couches and tables where students can set up and study throughout the day as well. All right, and then moving on to our region. So I mentioned very early in the presentation that we were just about 10 minutes from downtown Cincinnati, and we really do encourage our students to get out there and take advantage of all that Cincinnati has to offer you, both professionally and socially. So Cincinnati is home to 3 professional sports teams, the Cincinnati Reds, the Cincinnati Bengals, and FC Cincinnati. We are also home to a semi-professional hockey team called the Cincinnati Cyclones. So if you're into professional sports, Cincinnati is a great city for that. Can't say they're always going to win, but it's usually still a fun time. And we do some partnerships with all those teams, both in terms of like internships and co-ops, but also events for our campus community. So for instance, every year when they're allowing fans, we have an NKU Night at the Reds where our students can get some discounted Reds tickets. They usually get a Reds hat in NKU colors. So it's kind of just like a nice way to get our students out there into Cincinnati, explore the region, and build some off-campus community as well. If you are into trying new foods, Cincinnati is also a great place for that. My senior year in college, my roommate and I decided that every Friday we were going to try a new restaurant with over 3,000 options. Clearly, we never ran out of choices. So if you like trying new cuisines and new restaurants, we have a lot to offer you in that area as well. For being a city, we also have a surprising amount of green space. So Cincinnati is home to over 70 parks, so our students can get out there and bike or hike. I just went on a hike this past weekend to French Park. It was a really cool area. So there's lots of green spaces out there for you to explore in the Cincinnati area. We also are home to some great zoos and aquariums. So if you want to go to the Cincinnati Zoo, you can see Fiona, the baby hippo. She's not really a baby anymore, but she's still super cute. Or you can see Chris, the baby cheetah. He's cute too. And then we also have the Newport Aquarium if you're interested in going to aquariums. The nice thing about those 2 places is that they also do internship programs. So if you're interested in like pre-veterinary sciences or marine biology, anything to do with animals or things like that, you can also get internships at the Cincinnati Zoo and the Newport Aquarium too. All right, so now that you've seen what we have to offer you, let's tell you a little bit about how you can become a part of NKU's community. So in terms of our admissions process, we do have a 4-step admissions process. So we have our application itself, which we do have our own in-house application, which you can find at nku.edu/apply, but we also are a member of the Common App. So if you are applying to other schools that are members of the Common App, you can just go ahead and add NKU on that, apply that way. That way you're not having to go to a bunch of different websites to submit your college applications. But either way you submit the app, we require a $40 fee unless you get a fee waiver from your high school counselor. We also will need our transcripts from your high school counselor. And then right now we are requiring ACT or SAT scores. That being said, we have been in talks with our leadership about test optional policies, so that could be changing in the near future, but right now we are still requiring those as a part of our application process. Once you complete these 4 items, we have a pretty quick turnaround. We have rolling admissions, so there's not like one date where we release all of our admissions decisions. The sooner that you submit your application, the sooner we can get you an admissions decision and you'll know whether or not you have a home at NKU for the upcoming year. All right. So another important process in your college search is obviously what it costs to attend that school. So on this page, you can see our annual tuition rates for both in-state and out-of-state students. Obviously, as Ohio residents, you all would qualify as out-of-state. I know that number looks really big. So the good news is that we have a program for our out-of-state students called the EDGE Award. And what that does is it brings your out-of-state tuition rate down to our in-state rate plus $500. So it then makes NKU much more affordable for our students that are right over the river in Ohio. Excuse me. And the only qualifications that you have to have for the EDGE Award are that you are a first-time freshman and you have at least a 2.0 GPA in high school. If you have that, you can be awarded the EDGE Award. And this is a 4-year award. So this is something that you can renew every year and keep that tuition rate low. We also have other ways of bringing down the costs of attending NKU. So we obviously have financial aid available for our students. That is through the free application for federal student aid, or FAFSA. That is opening very soon on October 1st. So if you are a senior in high school right now, I encourage you to fill out the FAFSA as close to that opening date as possible. Some of the grant money at NKU is first come, first served. So the earlier that you submit that FAFSA, the sooner that we can put together a financial aid package for you and maximize your student aid. But the FAFSA can make you eligible for grants, which you do not have to pay back, as well as loans, which you will need to start paying on once you leave NKU's campus. But this is something that you will want to send in every year that you're at NKU. And this first time around, when you're going through your college search process, you can send it to up to 10 schools at one time. So I recommend that you just send it to any school that you're applying to. That way they can receive that and put together a financial aid package for you. Also, in terms of finances, we do have scholarships available for our students. So we have two different types of scholarships. We have merit scholarships, which are based entirely on your GPA and right now your standardized test score. We also have an additional scholarship application that you can fill out separately. So for our merit scholarships, all you need to do is make sure that your admissions application is complete before February 15th of your senior year. We look at those transcripts and things that you're submitting for your admissions application. So for merit scholarships, there's nothing else you have to do but apply by that date. And that way we can consider you for merit scholarships. For additional scholarships like the educational diversity or donor scholarships, you will want to fill out our additional scholarship application. That is also due on February 15th, but that one scholarship application makes you eligible for over 200 additional scholarships. And those can range from partial all the way to full tuition, and they are stackable on top of our merit scholarships. So we definitely encourage every student to submit that additional scholarship application. It requires 2 essays. They're like 500 words, so nothing too long or tedious, but it's a great way at getting some additional scholarship money and cutting down those costs. And then finally, we're coming to the end here. So I just wanted to leave you all with some important dates. So if you are a senior in high school right now, this shows you kind of what you're looking at and what's coming down the line for you in terms of your NKU admissions process. So July 15th is when our application opened. So if you have not already applied to NKU, you can submit that at any time. FAFSA is when the October 1st is when the FAFSA is going to open. So make sure you fill that out as close to that opening date as possible. January 15th is our Honors College priority deadline. So if you would like to be considered for scholarships that are associated with the Honors College, you will want to have your Honors College application turned in by January 15th. And then February 15th is our university scholarship deadline. So make sure that your admissions application is complete by this date so that we can consider you for merit scholarships, and make sure that your additional scholarship application is in by this date as well. April 15th is our final honors deadline. So if you want to be a part of the Honors College, you'll want to make sure that you have your Honors College application in before April 15th of your senior year. And then May 1st is a big day on campus. So May 1st is our housing application deadline. So if you know for sure that you want to live on NKU's campus, you want to have your housing application submitted before May 1st. As long as you submit it before May 1st, you are guaranteed a spot in one of our residence halls. May 1st is also our confirmation deadline. You'll see that with a lot of schools. It's kind of a national deadline where you want to let your schools know, hey, I'm coming, save a spot for me in the fall. So just make sure that around May 1st, if you haven't already by that point, communicate with your schools and let them know whether or not you're going to be on their campus that upcoming fall. And that is really all that I have for you all. So I am going to put up our next steps here. So this has all of our social media handles. So if you aren't already following us on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, make sure you do that. We have some really cool student stories that we share. We post some good reminders about scholarship deadlines and other application related deadlines. And then we also sometimes give away like some free NKU stuff. So it's a good way to kind of enter some giveaways as well. So make sure you follow us on all of our social media handles. But I'm going to open it up again for questions. So if you have questions that came about throughout this presentation, make sure that you are using the Q&A function, and I would be happy to answer those for you. But otherwise, if no one has any questions, I hope you have a great rest of your day. We hope to see your application come through, and we hope to see you on NKU's campus in the upcoming years. Now I'll just give you all a couple of minutes to put any questions you may have in the Q&A function. And then in about 2 or 3 minutes, we'll go ahead and wrap up the presentation for the day. All right, so I'm not seeing any questions come through. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up, and thank you all for joining us, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much to Northern Kentucky University for the presentation. At this time, I have a few ending housekeeping items. One second while I pull up this screen for you all. As a reminder, at the conclusion of this event, once you close the window, you will receive a very quick 4-question survey. You can sign up for additional sessions throughout the month of November at oacac.org, and a recording of the session will also be available on the website. Thank you all for joining us today, and I hope that you have a great afternoon.